Okay, got the new camera set up on a little tripod, and we're going to make an 8-wrap coil 27 gauge Canthal. Let's get some tension on that. Okay, I forgot my clippers, so I had to get those off camera. This is actually coil number 2 that we're starting. This is again going to be an 8-wrap 27 gauge Canthal coil. And we'll clip it off. Take it off of here and we'll show you what it looks like. And there is a perfectly wrapped micro coil. That's a good one. Okay, so we have the Odin all disassembled and ready to build. This is the base. I've got it on my cartometer here, but you can see the base has got 2 airflow slots on one side, 1 airflow slot on the other side, a single O-ring to hold the cap, and Phillips screws. The negative posts aren't really posts at all. They're milled into the side of the deck. And a positive post with a peak insulator at the bottom. This is a bottom-fed Odin, bottom-fed from the factory, from Loki. So you can see how they do that, and you can see the serial number and the little Loki guy right there. Okay. We got the Loki top cap, the Odin top cap, and the Loki stubby drip tip right there. Slot on each side for airflow, adjustable. So let's mount some coils. Okay, now we're going to mount the coils. I've got it on my little mandrel here. I always put the lower leg through the positive pin. Slide the coil into position. Trap the negative lead under the screw. I get it about where I want it. Then tighten down the negative lead. Leave the mandrel in there and pull the positive wire up out of the way like that. Okay, spin it around. I've got the other coil prepared right here. Slip that in. Get the coil roughly in the position I want. Capture the negative screw. Tighten it down. Okay, I'm just checking now to make sure that my coils are in the position that I want them to be in. They're pretty close. So I'll tighten down the positive screw. There we go. Okay, now we can take the mandrels out for the moment and we'll clip the wires. That one just slides out, and this one just slides out. Okay, then what I do is I push the negatives in. Yes, it's okay if they are hanging out there, but I always like to push them in, get them out of the way, then I don't have to worry about anything. Okay, now we can check the resistance of our build. And you can see it is 0.41. Okay, not jumping around at all. I thought I saw it move a little bit, so we'll check the screws, make sure the screws are tight, and they are. So we're at 0.41. Okay, so we can turn this off now. We're going to adjust the coils to get them where we want them to be. I'm going to turn this, put a mandrel back in there. These are 1/16 inch mandrels, and I want to just pull the coil out towards the hole and get it to line up the way that I want. Okay, that one's good. This one's in a little bit too far, so we're going to give it a pull. That looks pretty decent. Straighten it out a little bit. Okay, so I've got the coils mounted and the Odin placed onto a Rio. This is a low profile Rio Grande black wrinkle with a blue metallic door. And we're going to fire it. And we'll take care of any hot legs. So just pulse it. You can see we've got some hot leg there. Just keep pulsing. Okay, get rid of hot legs. Take a needle, just a little lure tip syringe needle like that. Place it in the coil. I'm going to pull out and just cue up the coil a little bit, giving it some pulling tension. I might strum the outside of it like that. Do the same with the other. Let's fire it again. Okay, we have no hot legs now, so I'm going to zoom in so you can really get a good view of this. Okay, let's fire those. You can see the coil heats up and looks like there's no hot legs. Trying to stay in the picture. Oh, now I see some hot legs. Let's resolve those. Okay, let's see if we got them all resolved. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's go back wide, and we'll place the coils in their perfect final resting positions so that we can wick them. Okay, you can see I basically have the coils at the same elevation right now, and they're very high. Okay, let's get wicking. Okay, we'll move this off to the side. I have some prepared Kojendo pads here that we will cut. I prefer to use the surgical scissors. It cuts it great. You just have to line it up and snip off just in excess of the width of the scissors. Okay, I've put the atomizer back on the cartometer base and we'll prepare the wick. All I do is moisten the tips of my finger, take the wick strip, and pinch and roll the end of it very small like that. Then I can slip that into the short side of the coil. And pull it through just to there. Let's turn that around. We'll do the other one. Right through the coil. Pull it through just to there. Then I want to snip the excess wick off. I rest the scissors right on the side of the atomizer and cut it. Take the mandrel and we'll put in the short side of the wick first, right down to the base, both sides. Then I take the back of my tweezers and I just push the coil into its final position. Okay, this is the elevation that I'm looking for. Let me see if I can show this to you. Okay, you see the coil right at the same level as the air hole? That's what I'm after. Okay, let's tuck the other tails in. And that is what we've got. Okay, we've got it remounted on the Rio, and we're ready to squonk it and wet the wicks. Now I'm tilting it, so it's going to squonk one side harder than the other. I prefer to squonk it flat, so that's what we'll do. Let that KGD get nice and wet. Working great. Put the cap on. And let's take a look. Working great. Thanks, everybody.